Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing my goals for 2021. Yes, I'm aware that it's March. Yes, I know that this is generally a video that goes up in January. But here we are because I am me. So I have this nice piece of paper that's been floating around my area for a month and a half. And that's just what we're gonna use. Apologies if there's weird lines, but it's the afternoon, the children are at grandma's, and this is when I have to film, but the lighting is weird, I think. I'm not sure, I can't see. So anyway, goals. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna go over my 2020 goals. 1, I wanted to do some rereads. I got 3 out of 7 reread on one series. I did want to reread, or not reread, I wanted to read the Descendants series by Melissa de la Cruz, which is currently behind my chair down there, and then watch the movies. Didn't do that. Haven't done that yet. I want to do it all in one weekend. It would have been a lot easier when I lived alone. Now I live with children who like me and want to come talk to me and have fun with me, which is lovely and great, but it's also really disorienting when you're used to living alone. So haven't done that yet. I did not read Spies, or Hills Have Eyes by Mercedes Lackey. However, I did for Christmas reread Black Griffin so I could annotate it and give it to my cousin-in-law. Well, cousin-in-law. At any rate, I did read a little bit of her. So I want to reread that series. I kind of just want to go through all of that world and read them in order, because I mean I started with the Black Griffin and that's where you start chronologically, so I'm thinking I'm gonna start there. I did read The Poppy War. I read all 3 of them, again in part because of my friend Chelsea, so that was a goal that I achieved. I did read more about Elizabeth. I think I read about 10 books, either set in Elizabethan times, be they fantasy or historical fiction, or just non-fiction about her and the people surrounding her. So that included Elizabeth and Her Circle, which was one of the specific books that I wanted to read. The book buying went to hell last year. That was fun. To be fair, I got some really good books, but it did go to hell. And then taking breaks. I did take breaks. Not necessarily when I wanted to, and then things got really skewed because A, 2020, B, COVID, C, Trump, and therefore election, and D, I decided to cut back on the number of videos that I post every week or month, and I haven't found the schedule to make that consistent yet. So those are all of the goals that I had for 2020 and whether or not I achieved those. Now, I have 4 specific goals for 2021. Just 4. Just 4. That's it. Because 2020 clearly went super well for me. Goal number 1. I almost said rule, and that's not it. I mean, it's kind of a rule, but it's not really a rule. Goal number 1. I want to read my shelves. I've posted on Twitter, I believe. I know it's on my Instagram, but my Instagram is private. That I have read X number of books out of 25. At this point, I have read 25 of the books that I own physically on my shelf, so I was able to buy the Graceling set from Fairy Loot, which is very exciting because that's my favorite series. And I'm currently 2 into my next set of 25. So I've gone on a book buying restriction. It's not a straight out ban because I can't do that physically. I will just crumble. But I have to read 25 of the books on my physical TBR. I can read them in whatever format. I can read them via audiobook, I can read them via ebook, I can read the physical copy. But I have to read a book that I own physically on my shelves before I can buy another book. I will say I'm counting a set of books, so like the Graceling set, you get 4 books, and it comes as a set, so I'm counting that. Generally speaking, it'll be 1 book. So my book hauls will be significantly less, and I will probably end up talking about the books that I got from the library that month more often. So far, that's going well. Number 2, more diversity. Even looking back at my stats, which I will show you in another short video coming, I was still reading a lot of white people. It was about 50-50 women versus men, a couple non-binary people in there, not very many, which is also failing on my part, but I do want to read more that is not written by white people. So that's a goal. That will always be a goal, because white people are not the only people out there, and other people's stories are, you know, kind of important. And it's also just fun to read not you. But that's the second goal. The third goal is to finish my 5-star predictions, because those are going swimmingly. I made 6 5-star predictions in 2019. I said The Tiger's Daughter, Closer to the Heart, Kangaroo Squadron, Splendor Before the Dark, and Warcry and Winston and Franklin would all be 5-star reads. I have, as of now, read 3 of those. So I'd like to finish that this year. That'd be really awesome. And then number 4 is I want to get onto a schedule. Like I mentioned, my schedule has just kind of been all over the place. And then the end of the year never helps that, because you have all the goals, stats, best of, worst of, etc. videos to do if you do those. And I do, so go back to beginning of February and you'll see them all. And I want to actually get into the schedule that I said I was going to do back when I told you guys I was starting to get a little bit burnt out and was going to go down to 1 week a video, or the average of that. So that's where I am. Those are the goals that I failed in 2020 and the goals that I hope not to fail in 2021. As always, at least with Elizabeth, I definitely want to read more from her as well. I want to read more and learn more about her and her world. And honestly, I kind of want to read more about her and international relations. International relations at the time in the 16th and 17th centuries. I almost said 16th and 15th. That doesn't even make sense. 16th and 17th centuries has always fascinated me, and especially because at the time the world is beginning to change. They're beginning to realize Europe isn't the center of the world, and the world is not flat. Surprise! So I would very much like to read more about that. I just need to do some research into finding those types of books, because also I would like them to not be written by a white person who says colonialism good, because how can you tell me that colonialism and imperialism are good? Have you seen the shit show we're in because of them? Whew. Anyway, that's all I have for my goals, both failing 2020 and hopefully doing better in 2021 moving forward. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.